Oh, the pretty bird. This is Kodandi. And one of the great things about India is all the cool birds and all the cool insects and lizards that they have here. I don't know what that bird is, but I love it. I love the little bird song. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit more about my PTSD recovery. And let me tell you, it is very much still in progress. And in the last video I made, I talked about the yoga practices, the yoga asanas, and the yogic cleansing techniques that have really helped give me a better physical place to start from, that it has improved my physical health and really changed my ideas about my body and what my body is capable of. Because, when you're struggling with mental health, the last thing you need is physical health problems as well to make it worse. So getting on top of my physical health was absolutely crucial. And, I'm still not 100%, but I'm definitely improved enough that I'm sitting here making this video telling you about it. But, one of the main things is these introspective meditation practices that the guru teaches and leads us through here at these programs. The main program is called Inner Awakening. That's sort of the maximum, you get everything program. And yeah, you spend the first part of it really clearing out your inner space because everyone has problems. Some of us have problems to the extent that they're manifesting as mental health issues, but everyone has something, and a lot of people are struggling in ways that they're not willing to admit to. There are a lot more people that have anxiety and depression than there are people with anxiety and depression diagnoses. So we all struggle with these things. We all struggle with self-esteem. We all struggle with, different things like that. Addictions and self-harm are so incredibly common, and it often appears in ways that are not, drug use and cutting. That there are many ways to be an addict and many ways to harm yourself. And so many people fall into these habits and these thought patterns. And so when you come here to Nithyananda Peetham Bengaluru Adinam, you will be working with the guru, Swamiji Paramahamsa Nithyananda. The main program is Inner Awakening, but there are other programs that they'll do the processes, but they don't get so deep into it. And one of the main processes is completion, the completion process. And it is a process where this safe space is created, where you can safely relive and re-experience what happened in a way that you are able to relieve yourself of it, where you go back and you put yourself into your child's eyes and, re-experience these past traumas, but knowing that you're in a safe space, that no harm will come to you, that whatever thought pattern you learned at that time, that it's not true. And it's a very, very powerful process. I'll post some links to some videos that describe these processes, and some of the videos lead you through them as well. But if you need help, I can do my best to help you if you want to try completion or any of the other processes. The other one is the Genesis of Identity, where we look at our image of ourselves, the image that we project to the world, and what we think about the world. So, for example, I might say I'm a terrible person, but I project that I'm confident and intelligent. But the world, the world is out to get me. Everyone is out to get me. That's sort of an example. And when we go through and look at these things that we think of ourselves, these ways that we project ourselves and the ways that we view the world, we start to notice some inconsistencies. And these inconsistencies end up leading to self-hatred, self-doubt and self-denial, which are all very destructive patterns to have. I mean, I am still very much working through my self-hate pattern. Let me tell you, these things get really deep, and it takes a lot to dig them out. But I'm making enough progress that I'm feeling a lot better. So, digging into that and digging into the, whatever happened, whatever thing made you start to think these ways about yourself, digging out those and really confronting them, doing completion with them. Another big one that I think probably my favorite, Samskara Dahana Kriya. This is a very, very long process where you go through and you write out everything. You write your whole autobiography of every painful thing that happened to you, every powerless thing that ever happened to you, anything. You write it all out, all of it, every little thing. And you spend the whole day doing this. And then you do a completion process. You do a spiritual alchemy process when you're here anyway. And to really kind of dig in and get at the root of these issues. And then you have to read out your list, what you wrote, to 5 people, or read it out 5 times. And that gets really scary because all of a sudden we're telling these stories about ourselves. Like, when I was a kid, I did this thing and I felt so guilty about it that, what was once private is now being shared with everyone or whatever. And that's definitely a part of the process to get it out of our system. And not only to read it out once, to tell these stories once, but to tell them 5 times. So by the time you get to the 3rd time, you're like, oh God, not this story again. Oh, I can't believe this is still bothering me. And it really helps you to just let go, to get it out and to just let it go. Now, the last time that I did this process, I did it very, very intensely, and I really, really dug into some very specific issues that had been bothering me, some very specific patterns. It was like my paranoia pattern, mostly, that I was dealing with. And on the 2nd day of the process, so we started one afternoon, spent the whole day working on it. The 2nd day of the process, we spent the morning. I got a fever. I thought I was getting the flu, and I started panicking because I did not want to miss this, because this is one that I've done several times, and it's such an amazing process. So I get a fever, and I'm panicking, and then I realize this fever is actually burning out these patterns from my body, that this fever is burning out these incompletions, is burning out these traumas, burning, my body is burning these things itself. That the way that, these patterns have been kept in my muscles, in my muscle tissue, in my organs, in my bones. You talk to any massage therapist and they will tell you how much people hold memory in their muscle and their bodies. And so my body created a fever to start to burn these things out. And so I went into the corner and I wrapped myself in a shawl and a blanket and just, I tried to raise my body heat in order to break the fever, because I knew that was the only way to do it. And I just said to my body, so I said to the fever, come on, hurry up, get this done so I can get back and do the process. And so I laid there for a few hours, I don't know how long, just horribly having a fever. And then I heard the rain. The rain started, and it just, the sound of the rain woke me up, and the fever was gone, and I just felt so amazing. I wanted to run outside in the rain, but I knew that was a bad idea, so I didn't. But yeah, and then I laid there for a little bit just to kind of get myself back together. And then I jumped back in and finished the rest of the process. And it was it was really powerful. I really got rid of some stuff that I probably didn't even write down in my list, and stuff I probably didn't even remember. But it was gone, and yeah, it was gone. Yeah, there's so much more. I've just had such amazing, deep, positive experiences. I will keep telling these stories as I continue in my PTSD recovery process. And if you are suffering from trauma, PTSD, CPTSD, if you're still really experiencing a hangover from any sort of childhood events or events when you were younger, please, 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 please help yourself get rid of these things and, live your life again. And, you can do it. There is a life to live. You do not have to be bothered by these things forever. You can let them go. You can get them out of your system. You just probably need some help, like I did. And you probably need a guru with some powerful energy work that can, assist you with this, that can help you feel supported and can take care of anything that you are unable to do yourself, which is something he does, that he can take our karmas for us, these incompletions, these traumas being karmas, that he can take them, and I don't know what he does, but he gets rid of them. That's the important part. So hopefully I will see you here. If you have any questions about how to get here, how to, make it to any of these programs, how to manifest the money, how to, get your family or friends to approve, let me know, because I have had all of these problems myself and I have overcome them all. So get in touch and I will help you get here, to help you get through your PTSD and your trauma and to live a life again.